Okay, guys, we're finally back again. Yeah, I had my breakfast and okay, let's continue with our leak section, I guess. So now for the paid DLC buff, whatever you want to call it, but yeah. For the first patch, the paid buffs are for Acheron, danheng and Jing Yuan. Again, we don't know how this paid buff works. We don't know if it's like in-game currency or real money or even maybe like a new end-game currency. They could add some end-game currency on the from the next patch and maybe use that to buy these equipment. Again, these are not direct buff. You just need to buy equipment. These equipments will buff these characters in their kit, and they will also gain new animation. Again, this equipment changes can also happen because they're still in development, so just keep that in mind because these are leaks in the end. Okay, start also on release, you can get one of these equipment for free. Like you can get Acheron's, jingyuan's, or danheng's equipment for free. One of them is freely given out, so that's something, I guess. Okay, starting from Acheron. So Acheron equipment works like this. Once per turn, when an enemy that has a stack of Crimson Nord is attacked, Acheron launches a follow-up attack against all enemies, dealing lightning damage in 4 successive slashes. Each of these follow-up attacks increase a counter by 1. Once counter reaches 3, Acheron immediately gains access to an additional ultimate while preserving her previous slashed dream progress. So simply, you can ult 2 times and it won't affect her old ultimate stacking. This new ultimate is like immediate, I guess, without costing your old ultimate. Simply, you get 2 ultimates in a row. And we all know Acheron heavily relies on her ultimate for damage. Her skill barely does anything, so she becomes more like an ult spamming unit. And with Blade and Robin SP being super meta right now, I think, yeah, with these changes, Acheron could be a top tier DPS. Also, a friendly reminder, these paid buffs are supposed to be stronger than Nova player changes, so just keep that in mind as well. Now moving on to danheng. Before I go into danheng's kit, remember this danheng will get a new relic set in 3.6. So if you wanna pre-farm or set up for danheng's new paid buff, yes, farm the new relic set. It's gonna drop alongside Pearl's relic set, if I'm not wrong. So that's actually a good thing, I guess. So he's getting a new relic set, and he's also getting this paid buff. Now for danheng's new equipment, at the start of battle, Dill gets a temporary buff which makes his damage dealt become 200% of original damage. When Dill consumes enough skill points through enhanced basic attack, he automatically launches an additional attack against all enemies. He also gains a 4th level to his enhanced basic attack, which consumes 4 skill points. So if I'm not wrong, current danheng only has 3 enhanced basic attacks, but with the new equipment, now he can get 4 enhanced basic attack. On top of, he can additionally launch another attack. I don't know if it's gonna be like another enhanced attack, like with Sirydra copying stuff, or is it like a new animation, or I have no idea. But he's gonna do a normal follow-up attack with a higher multiplier. Then he can also use a 4th enhanced basic attack. That's like, this should be like a lot of damage. His multipliers are pretty high for a 1x character, so with these multipliers, yeah, I can see danheng being really, really strong in the upcoming future, especially with Spark's skill being really strong. And again, you do have Robin. I think Robin is also should have a decent synergy with Danny because of the defense reduction, action advance, and the energy part and everything should go well with Danny. I personally don't have Danny, so yeah, I don't know how his power level right now is. I think he's probably good at stage 11 of MOC and stuff. But again, he's a 1x unit, so he definitely needs this help. Now for Jing Yuan's equipment. When Lightning Lord accumulates, attack count reaches 10 or more, its next action is enhanced, increasing its number of hits to 16. And yeah, that's it. That's all for Jing Yuan. Trust me, Jing Yuan changes like mediocre as hell. I think Jing Yuan is the weakest out of these 3, and probably Acheron is the strongest. So if you get an option to pick one of these equipment for free, I will highly recommend to get Acrons if you own all three of them. But if you don't own all three of them, get the character that you own in your account and use them. But like I said, these are early kids, so there are high chance of getting changed in the future. And again, we don't know how this paid buff works. We have no idea if it's like real money, in-game money like Stellar Jade, or an in-game resource they will add or something like that. We have no idea, so we have to wait for the future live streams to get a better idea. So don't go around, spreading misinformation, because we have still no idea how this paid stuff works, because it could be in-game currency. So we just need to wait for the 4.7 live stream, because these buffs are coming in 4.7 if I'm not wrong. So yeah, that's it for the paid buffs. And yeah, I will cover Finality MC's video in around 10 minutes or so, because I need a little bit break. Okay, so yeah, see you guys, have a great day, bye.